Welcome to I Can Do That with Nicole Empowers. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to I Can Do That with Nicole Empowers. I'm Nicole. So today's episode, I wanted to dive deep into getting laid off or being fired versus leaving a job on your own terms. And so this topic has come up to me so many different times. I've thought about this so much, especially because in my last position, I actually decided to leave. And I decided to do that before any type of retaliation type of efforts were going to start happening. And I truly believe that in my last job, I was absolutely going to be pushed out. I was going to be worked to no avail. And knowing me, I was probably going to, um, basically do really well and still accomplish the things that I was being asked, even though I know that I was probably going to be asked to do the impossible. And I think that my employer was probably going to move forward with finding some type of loophole, some type of way to get rid of me, because that's what happens, right? When you're in a situation that really is just not a good one. And so I guess to give a little bit of backstory, I had been at this company for a number of years, and I was doing really great. I really think that in my situation, I went from pet to threat. I was someone likable, someone that everybody liked and wanted to talk to. And I was someone that would volunteer to do all of the different work that was asked of me. I was someone that made myself available to be a team player. I kind of did all those different things. And so at one point, I think that I started to maybe just get a little bit too knowledgeable, maybe do things that were maybe too good, handle things without needing to be handheld through them. And I think that possibly pissed a few people off. And so I knew that things were happening, things were in motion. And so in that, kind of a long story short, I decided that I was going to leave on my own terms. And so I started that process basically. I kind of grieved it. I put together all of the different scenarios of what kind of resignation letter I would write. I kind of put all those different things together. So that kind of made me more comfortable with deciding to leave. The other thing is that I actually experienced a layoff very early in my career. My first job out of college, I stayed there in a I stayed at the position in a leadership development program. And then from there, I rolled off into a quote unquote permanent role. And so from that permanent role, I basically was laid off. And that layoff I did not see coming at all. I did know that there had been some conversations about, or just hearing that there may be some layoffs or maybe some changes throughout the organization and things like that. But I was not at all thinking that I would be on their radar. I just come from a big leadership development program. Why would they invest all this money in me and then let me go? So I was kind of that mindset. While at the same time, I did not want to be at that job anymore. I actually had tried to escape that job in a lot of different ways. And again, saying escape, I was absolutely a naive, adult child in that sense, where how are you trying to escape a job? You can just leave. But for some reason that didn't click for me, being a high performing person, being someone that I'm the oldest, I'm the person that's making money now. I'm the person that people are looking up to, that people are talking about, that people are saying, wow, we need you, or you're such a great example. And I felt like I couldn't leave that without, like, I couldn't escape that without finding a way to escape, if that makes any sense. So I had tried to like plot a lot of different things. You know, I moved to New Jersey for one of my rotations. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to find some type of job in New York or in New Jersey somewhere because I like it out here. I want to figure that out. So yeah, so I kind of did a whole lot of stuff with that. But in that layoff situation, I was laid off, and my last day was given to me as my birthday, actually, that same year of the layoff. And so I felt like this was a huge sign from God that, okay, like you're released, like you can go on, move forward and do your next thing. And so from there, I decided, okay, I'm never going to overstay my welcome somewhere. I'm never going to stay somewhere where my favor has run out. And so basically, that's kind of how we see, or how I got to the place that I am now, where I decided to quit. So a few things that crossed my mind in this last position where I decided, okay, am I going to quit or am I going to let them like fire me or lay me off? So in that decision, especially looking at both situations, when I was laid off at first, you know, during my first job versus I'm in a position now and I really don't like it and I need to figure out my exit strategy. And so what I looked at was, with this recent position that I left, I felt like it would be really damaging to me as a person if I allowed them to basically hurt me. If I allowed them to walk all over me, constantly attack me and beat me down, mentally and spiritually at work, just so that I could get, you know, maybe a severance package or collect unemployment. And I felt like it wasn't worth it. And so I tell that story to hopefully help someone listening to know that, yes, sometimes it does sound really good to just like, yeah, let them fire you, let them lay you off, you'll get your severance, you'll, you know, get all, you know, whatever it is, money wise, materialistically, that you can get from a company, which I'm absolutely for, because I think that we give so much of our time and effort and energy to work. I mean, we literally spend more time with our coworkers a lot of times more than our own families. So we put in a lot at work. And so because we do that, I absolutely agree with trying to get everything that you possibly can from a work situation. However, I also think that when you have come to a place where you have given all that you can, I don't think it's a good idea to allow anything or person to take any more from you, including your dignity. So with that, that's really my take on leaving a job versus getting fired or laid off, or waiting to be fired or laid off. And so I hope that that helps someone. And I also have to say that there's really no right or wrong way to do any of this. I think the only thing that you can do really is to find a way to protect yourself in that process. Find a way to grieve the loss of that position, even if you hated it, grieving the loss of the money, grieving the loss of whatever perks and things that you got from that, even grieving the loss of who you thought you were when you had that position, grieving that, finding ways through therapy, through prayer, through wise counsel to put things in perspective and understand that your job is not your personality. It's not who you are. It's something that you do, but it's not your identity. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for listening to I Can Do That with Nicole Empowers. If this episode inspired you, made you think, or even made you laugh, please like it and share it with a friend that can do that too. If you want to see other things I'm doing, please check me out on social media. All of my links to find me will be in the description below. Can't wait to see you and meet you one day. Thanks.